Hey, my name's Keegan. As I teach myself all the homesteading skills, I am going to teach you. So today we are doing sourdough starter. This is a super simple, no scale, 9-day process so that you can get sourdough starter to start making your loaves. Okay, we're starting with day 0. This is the only day you're going to use whole wheat flour. So you are going to feed half a cup of whole wheat flour and half a cup of filtered water. In your glass jar, you are going to stir that up. You want a kind of thicker consistency, kind of like this. This whole wheat flour is going to kind of jumpstart all the nutrients. So this is the only day you're using it. After this, you'll be using all-purpose flour. Okay, we're going to cover that with a towel. You want to put this in the warmest part of your kitchen. For me, this is right in between my stove and my oven. Okay, now we're officially on day 1 of feeding. Now, if you've got this like brown liquid on top that you can kind of see, that is okay. That is normal. It just means that it's hungry and you need to feed it flour. So we're going to do a 1/4 a cup of filtered water. I'm doing a half a cup of all-purpose flour. You can kind of tell just with how I'm doing the flour, this does not have to be an exact process. I'm not spooning it into the cup. I'm literally scooping it and leveling it with my finger. So it doesn't have to be as exact as you think it needs to be. We're on our next day after sitting covered overnight. We are now doing day 2. So we're doing another half a cup of all-purpose flour and a 1/4 a cup of filtered water. So, spoiler alert, this is the feeding that we're going to be doing the entire time during this process, so it's the same measurements. This is just a PSA. In case you didn't know, sourdough is super sticky and it will clog your drains, so wipe it off with your paper towel. Day 3, she's nice and bubbly. I actually didn't discard in this video, but I should have. So, discarding just means that you're taking away about half of what you have in there. Then you're going to do your normal feed of a half a cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 a cup of water. So see, if you have a ton of liquid, you may need to discard. I probably should have discarded, but it's fine. I discard the next day. While we're growing this starter, we're actually going to be throwing away that discard. So you'll see here, I go and throw this away. You'll see all these discard recipes online. That's when your starter is mature. She is not mature enough yet to be cooking with. So same exact feed ratio that we've been doing. Now we are on day 5. We're going to discard about half of that liquid in there and do our same feeding. You may start seeing some rising at this point. If in these beginning couple days your starter is super, super smelly, like I'm talking gross, dirty diaper, it's okay. It gets better by the end, I promise. Okay, day 6, we are discarding again, doing our same feed. Now, these feeds only take a few minutes a day, but you do need to be home while you're growing your starter. Don't do this when you're going out of town. Okay, we're actually getting to the end here, so you're going to do that same discard, about half your feed. That ends up being about a half a cup to a 1/3 a cup for me, basically. Do your feed you've been doing, stir that all in. Day 8 is actually our last day. So I have some tips and tricks to know if your starter is ready and done. But basically, if we're rising, she's going to be ready to bake with. I wanted to mention, if you've normally been feeding like in the mornings and then you forget one morning and you feed that afternoon, it's okay. Your starter is going to be just fine. Okay, on these last couple days, you may have noticed your starter has been rising and falling, so you kind of get this like crust on the edge of it. You're going to want to transfer your starter into a clean jar every so often. Okay, we're going to cover her in that warm spot and we're going to watch her rise. So this is it rising. My peak rise time for me is about 4 hours. This is really going to depend on where you live because it's sensitive to temperature. This is called the float test. If your starter is active and bubbly, it should float in water, and this means that it's ready to bake with. It also should have at least doubled during that rise time, and you're going to be baking bread in no time. If you liked this and it was helpful, please subscribe.